Betrayal immediately. You ever had someone try to rip the floor out from under you, literally? My own brother tried to evict me from the apartment I'd been living in for years. He called me a freeloader, a failure, and told me I had 30 days to get out. But here's the thing, when the dust settled, he wasn't just out of my life, he was out of the building. Because now? I own it. If you've ever been underestimated, disrespected, or treated like you were nothing, this story is going to hit home. Smash that like button, subscribe if you love seeing justice served, and get ready, because this revenge? It's cold, calculated, and oh so satisfying. I'll never forget the look on my brother Jason's face the day he showed up at my door with that eviction notice. He wasn't just smug, he looked hungry, like he had been waiting years for this. Jason's always been the golden child. Growing up, he was the one who could do no wrong. Charming, athletic, the favorite of every teacher, and our parents. Me? I was the quiet one, the bookworm. I liked fixing computers, tinkering with code, and dreaming about starting my own business. Jason mocked me endlessly. You'll never make real money typing on a keyboard, he used to say. When our parents passed, he inherited most of their assets, including the old apartment building we grew up in. He gave me one tiny favor, a discounted rent-controlled unit in the building. For years, I kept to myself. I worked odd IT jobs, did freelance coding, and lived frugally. To Jason, that was proof I was a loser. He didn't see the hours I spent at night building something bigger, quietly growing a software startup with a few online friends. One day, Jason decided he was done helping me out. He stormed into my apartment with a smirk and tossed an envelope on the table. 30 days, he said flatly. You're out. I'm selling this place to developers. Time you stopped leeching. My blood ran cold. I wasn't just losing a home. I was losing the last tie to my parents. My sanctuary. I tried to reason with him. Jason, I've never missed rent. Why are you doing this? He sneered. Because you're pathetic. You'll never get anywhere. And when this building sells, I'll be a millionaire. What'll you be? Still typing away in the dark? That night, I couldn't sleep. My heart pounded. My chest felt like it was caving in. I thought about all the nights I spent working quietly while Jason partied. All the times he told me I'd never be worth anything. Something snapped inside me. Turning point, resolve. Instead of crumbling, I made a choice. If Jason wanted me gone, fine. But I wasn't going to leave quietly. Here's the thing Jason didn't know, my little hobby project? It had just landed a major contract. Practically overnight, my team and I went from scraping by to serious money. Not millions yet, but enough to finally breathe. Enough to plan. And Jason, in his arrogance, had no idea. I started watching Jason's moves closely. True to his word, he put the building up for sale. The developers circled, but negotiations dragged. Turns out, the property was tied up with old zoning laws and some messy tenant protections. Developers hated the risk. Jason grew desperate. That's when I saw my opening. Through my startup, I quietly created a holding company. On paper, it looked like a small investment group, anonymous, unremarkable. Behind the curtain? It was me. When Jason lowered the asking price, my company made an offer. Lowball, but cash up front. Desperate to cash out and flex his success, Jason grabbed it without hesitation. I'll never forget signing those papers. My hand shook, not from fear, but from sheer adrenaline. In one move, I went from pathetic little brother to landlord of the very building Jason once lorded over me. The reveal. But the sweetest part? I didn't tell him. Not yet. I let him think he'd won, that he'd gotten rid of me. Until the day he came by to celebrate his sale. He was already drunk, bragging about how he was going to buy a luxury car, how the deal proved he was smarter, richer, better. That's when I dropped it. Actually, Jason, I said calmly, sliding the ownership papers across the table. You didn't sell the building to developers. You sold it to me. The color drained from his face. He blinked. Twice. Then his jaw clenched. You're lying. I smiled. No. I own the building now. Which means technically, I own your old office too. He exploded. Red in the face, veins bulging. You think this makes you better than me? He shouted. You'll screw it up. You've always been weak. But his voice cracked. And for the first time in my life, I saw fear in my brother's eyes. That moment was pure electricity. Years of insults, of being underestimated, of being treated like dirt, gone in an instant. I didn't need to scream, or gloat, or humiliate him in public. The papers on the table did it for me. He left that night in silence. No more smug grin. No more power over me. And me? I stood in the building's lobby the next morning, running my hand over the railing I'd held since childhood. My building. My home. My victory. Here's the thing, sometimes revenge isn't about destroying someone. It's about rising above them so completely that their cruelty becomes irrelevant. Jason tried to evict me from my life. Instead, I evicted him from his own pride. If that payoff gave you chills, smash that like button, share this story with someone who's ever been underestimated, and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you would love to see play out? And don't forget, subscribe for more tales of karma, justice, and sweet, sweet revenge.